all to my channel. Is this your first time of coming to my channel? Thanks a lot. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe. So in today's tutorial we are going to be making a simple video on how to achieve your show me your back dress. Okay, now growing up as kids, show me your back dress was one of those styles that was trending back then, and this is also like a style that's still in vogue even up to then. So what does show me your back looks like? It simply means that for your front block you have your basic dress, and while for the back is actually open. So for period like summer period, this is one style I recommend, especially when you know the weather is actually very hot. This is one style you can rock during this period. So what are the basic measurements required in order for you to achieve your show me your back dress? Your shoulder measurements, bust, waist, hip and your gown length. Now your show me your back could either be a pencil gown, it could be a gown with pleats, it could be a gown with flare. It all depends on how you want to spice up your show me your back dress basically. And this also applies to top. So if you want me to make a tutorial on how to achieve your show me your back top, please feel free to drop that in the comment section and I'm going to put up a video on that. So let's go ahead now and calculate our basic measurements required to achieve your show me your back dress. Okay, so our shoulder measurement is 14 divided by 2, we have 7. Our bust is 36 inches. 36 plus 2 divided by 4 plus 1, we have 10.5 inches. Our waist is 30 plus 2 divided by 4 plus 2, we have 9.5 inches. Our hip is 38 plus 2 divided by 4 plus 1, we have 11 inches. Our gown length is 60 inches, and like I said earlier, your show me your back, you can spice it up with your pleats, you can spice it up with your flare, you can decide that you want it to be a short gown. It all depends on how you want to style your dress. Okay, so for me, I'm going to be spicing mine with pleats. So this means that the lower part of my dress I'm going to have like pleats going on. So in order for me to achieve this, I'm going to deduct my basic pencil gown from the pleats. So the measurement from my shoulder to my gown length is 60 inches. However, from my shoulder to my knee length is 35 inches. Now I know you might want to ask me that how did I come across this measurement. I have a detailed tutorial on distance calculations. This enables you to know the distance from your shoulder to bust, from your bust to waist, waist to knee length and all of that. So I'm going to go ahead and put down the link of that video in the description box below. Please check it out in order for you to know how to achieve your basic measurements. So now we have 35, so we have 35, we have 25 inches. 60 minus 35, we have 25 inches, plus 2 inches, we have 27 inches. So these are the basic measurements required in order for you to achieve your show me your back. Now for the pleats area, how will you know the amount of fabric required for your pleats? The basic way or two ways in which you can achieve the amount of fabric required for your pleats. So the first one is you multiply your hip measurements by 3 inches. And the reason why you multiply your hip measurement by 3 inches, especially when you want your pleat to be full, and also you also have to consider the amount of fabric you are working with. So if my hip measurement for an example is 40 inches, 40 multiplied by 3, I have 120 inches. So it means that for the width, the amount of fabric required for the width, I'm going to have 120 inches, and for the length I'm going to have 27 inches. But if your fabric is not enough, or you don't want your pleat to be too full, all you have to do is to multiply your hip measurement by 2.5. okay, so if you want your pleat to be full, you multiply your hip by 3, but if you don't want it to be full, you multiply your hip measurement by 2.5, but the length is still going to remain the same. Now if you have any question in the course of this tutorial, please feel free to drop your questions in the comment section, or any topic you want us to make a video on. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, TD Designs, on Instagram, TG Designs, and also visit our websites. We have amazing fashion illustration on our website. We are going to make use of this African print to achieve our show me your back. Okay, show me your back. You guys put it down in the comment section, show me your back. Okay, and I remember like growing up as kids, you know, there was like a time when this show me your back was in vogue, like it was really trending. Let me know like if you love the style, you know, back then and all of that. But in the comment section, please comment show me your back. Don't watch this video without putting down the comments show me your back. Okay, so I'm going to be making this show me your back mommy dress, and I'm going to make use of this beautiful African print to achieve our show me your back. So the first thing we have to do now is to go ahead and draft our basic measurements, and you know, our basic measurements. So we have shoulder to armhole 9 inches, shoulder to armhole 9 inches, shoulder to bust 9.5, shoulder to under bust 13.5, shoulder to waist 17 inches. Now I know you might want to ask me that, oh, how did you come across all these measurements? I have a detailed tutorial where I explained distance calculation, the distance between your bust to waist. I'm going to put down the link of that video in the description box. Please go ahead and check it out in order for you to know your size. So I'll go ahead and mark it again. Shoulder to bust 9, shoulder to armhole 9, shoulder to bust 9.5, shoulder to under bust 13.5, shoulder to waist 17 inches, waist to hip 9 inches, and waist to knee length 17 inches. So once I'm done, I will go ahead and connect these lines together. Next thing you have to do now is to mark your dart measurement. So my dart measurement is 4 inches. I'll go ahead and mark 4 inches all the way. Once I'm done, I will connect the lines together. I'll connect the lines together. On my waistline, I will mark ½ inch on both sides. ½ inch on both sides on the waistline. Then you connect your waist to bust, and also waist to hip. This is what it looks like, right? So the next thing you are going to do now is to mark your shoulder measurement. So our shoulder measurement now is 7 inches, our bust is 10.5 inches, our waist is 9.5 inches, our hip is 11 inches. So at this lower part, you go ahead and deduct, you know, 1 to 2 inches. It depends on how pencil you want it to be. So for me, I'm going to make use of 1.5 inches. I will go ahead and connect the lines together. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to drop your questions in the comment section, or any topic you want us to make a video on. So once you are done, this is what it looks like. I'll go ahead with my armhole curve and connect my shoulder to my bust line. So this is what it should look like. So once you are done now, you have to go ahead and mark your neckline, and don't forget that what you have is show me your back. Okay, so you go ahead and mark your neckline. So your neckline, right? So my neckline, the wideness is going to be 5 inches. So what I have here for my neckline is just 2 inches. So by the time I use ½ inch to stitch my neckline and ½ inch to turn my armhole, I'll be left with 1 single inch, and we are going to use that inch to get our rope, which we are going to use to tie our back. Okay, so now the next thing you want to do now is to mark your neckline, the deepness of your neckline, and note that the deepness of your neckline totally depends on you. Okay, so you can, you know, you can come down, you can go up. It just depends on how deep you want it to be. And you also determine the kind of neckline you want to have. You can have like a V neckline. So for me, I'm going with a V neckline, right? So on our armhole now, don't forget your shoulder slope, 1 inch for your shoulder slope, and then you go ahead and connect it together. So once you are done, this is what it should look like. So you go ahead now and cut this out. So guys, after after cutting it out, this is what it looks like. You can see how cute it is. Now this is for the front block. So the next thing we want to cut out now is our back block. So for our back block now, because you know from the title of the video, show me your back, so this means that you are only going to be needing the lower part of your back, the lower part. So this upper part is going to be opened to give us our show me your back. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do now is to go ahead and draft our, mark your zip allowance. So I'm going to be using 1.5 inches all the way for my zip allowance. I'll go ahead and connect it all the way down. So this is our waistline, this is our hip line, this is our waist, this is our hip line, and this is our knee line. So we'll go ahead now and mark our darts. Our dart is 4 inches. Mark your dart 4 inches. Connect the lines together. On your waistline, go ahead and mark 1/2 inch on both sides. Mark 1/2 inch on both sides on your waistline, and you connect to your hip line, right? So once you do that, this is what you have. So you go ahead and take your waist measurement. Our waist measurement is 9.5. Our hip measurement is 11 inches. On the lower part for the front block, we took away 1.5 inches. So that's the same thing you are going to use also for the back block. So you go ahead now and connect the lines together. Please comment below, show me your back, right? So this is what we have. So we go ahead now and cut this out. This is what you are going to have for the back block. So guys, now we want to cut out our pattern. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my fabric into 2, and then I'm going to place my front block on it. Don't forget that what we want to achieve is show me your back, okay? So fold your fabric into 2, place your front block on it this way, and then you go ahead and cut this out. So guys, after cutting this out, this is basically what we have. You can see what it looks like, and just our tiny deep V neckline. So we'll go ahead now and set this aside, and then we'll cut out the back block. So guys, now we've folded our fabric into 2. We've gone ahead to place our back block on it, and then we've cut this out. So once you are done, this is basically what you are going to have for your back block. You are going to have 2 pieces, and because it's show me your back, you basically just need the lower part of your back block. So go ahead and set this aside. So guys, now for the lower part, which is our pleats, what you are going to do now is to multiply your hip measurement by 3 or by 2.5. So basically, if you want your pleat to be very full, all you have to do is multiply your hip measurement by 3. So I have 108 inches. So for the width this way, the amount of fabric I need, this is 108 inches, right? While for the length, don't forget that from our shoulder to our knee level, we have 35 inches. So all you have to do now is to deduct your shoulder to knee from your gown length. So our shoulder to knee is 35 inches and our gown length is 62. So you deduct 62 from 35, you have 27 inches. You go ahead and add your 2 inches or 3 inches for your sewing allowance. We have 30 inches. So what this means is that for the length of our pleat this way, I have 30 inches. For the length of the pleats, I have 30 inches, and while for the width, I have 108 inches. So multiply your hip measurement by 3 or by 2.5. So I'll go ahead and set this aside. So guys, we've gone ahead now to cut out the lining for the dress. So you can see this is what the lining looks like. We've turned it with the lining, and we've also ironed it, and this is what the front block looks like. So for the back block now, so for the back block, we have 2 pieces, which is the lower side of the back block. We've also gone ahead to turn the 2 sides with lining. So this is what it looks like. So the next thing you are going to do now is you are going to couple this up to give us a single piece. So you go ahead and fix in your zip. Okay, you go ahead and fix in your zip, and then you stitch the other part to give us a complete piece this way. So that's all you're going to do for the back block. While for the front block, now you're going to go ahead and attach. Don't forget that what we have or what we want to achieve is show me your back. So I'm going to go ahead now and cut out the rope we are going to use. So basically we are to attach our rope to this side of the dress and also to the shoulder. So we'll go ahead now and cut that out. So guys, now this is what we have for the stripes that we want to attach to our dress. So for the wideness of the strap, I have 2.5 inches for the wideness. So because I'm going to fold it like this into 2, so once I'm done folding it and stitching it into 2, I'm going to have about 1 inch. I'm going to have about 1 inch of it after stitching, but opened this way I have 2 inches for the wideness. So yours could be smaller if you want your rope to be very tiny, or yours could be bigger. It depends on you. Now for the length, it actually depends on how long you want it to be. Okay, and that is just like, the longer it is, the more you have enough rope to basically tie. So for the length now, I have 40 inches for the length, and then I have about 4 pieces of this belt, or so I have 4 pieces of it. So the reason why we have about 4 pieces of this belt is that of the strap is that we're going to attach 1 piece at this edge, 1 piece at this edge, and we'll also attach to this side so that it can hold the front firmly. So two at this part of the sides and 2 at the shoulder part. So that is making it the 4 inches. So you go ahead and turn it, and then you basically just attach it to this part. You can see what it looks like. Attach it to this part. You also attach one of it to this other part, so you can basically tie it and then you attach to the shoulder. So once I'm done, I'll show you guys what it looks like. So for the lower side now of the back block, this is what we have. I've gone ahead to fix in our zipper, and we have a single piece. Now for the front block, of course, don't forget that what we want to achieve is show me your back, right? So for the front block, this is what we have. We've gone ahead now to attach our stripe to this side and also to our shoulder. So this is what you should have for your front block, right? This is what you should have for your front block. So we've attached, you can see our stripes at the side and also at the shoulder. So the next thing we are going to do now is we are going to place our back block, which is the lower part of our back block, and then we'll go ahead and couple this up together. So our waist is 32 divided by 2, we have 16. We'll go ahead and check out what we have here. We have 18 inches here. We are going to mark 1 inch on this side and 1 inch on this other side. Now for our hip measurements, we have 38 divided by 2, we have 19, but I have 21 for this part, so it means I'm going to mark 1 inch on both sides. So you basically want to attach your front block to your back block measurements, connect the lines together, and you also connect these lines together. So I'll go ahead now and stitch this at this side. After stitching it, I will now show you guys what it looks like, so you can see like the effect of your show me your back already. So guys, now we've gone ahead now to attach our pleats to the lower side. We just went ahead to gather it up at this lower side, and this is what your show me your back dress looks like. So you can see your stripes at the front, and for the back you can see that you have your zipper at this point, and then you have this part of your back being opened, and that is why it is called show me your back. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please feel free to give this video a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe.